A person knocks on your door and claims to be you from the future. How would they prove it? Well, I'm certainly not gonna tell random strangers on the internet. Yeah, nice try, future cybercops. Time cops. What's the name of the one that got away? Had a huge crush on this girl throughout high school that I never told even my best friend about. After freshman year of college I saw her briefly during the summer and she told me she'd had a crush on me most of that time. But one of us was always dating someone else. There is one chick I slept with that I told no one about. I'll take that secret to my grave. She was killed very shortly after in a car accident. If he knows about that. If I ask him what he has achieved and he answers nothing, then I know it's me. That could also be me though. Gotta be more specific. I have a form of gigantism in my right leg. It'll be able to tell pretty fast. Also, I may have more advanced prosthetic in the future than the one I have right now. Future you would be half cyborg. Pull out the note I'm writing down and storing for just this occasion. Apostrophe. If they pull out a copy of the note I just wrote down, I'll believe them. Future you explains the note was lost in a fire, but never forgot what it said. He hands you a box and says here are the nudes you asked for. I pull out my gun, knowing what must be done. Because I'm actually future me. W. Hollett was sent back in time to stop past me from meeting with future me, as future me's corpse lies on the ground. I open the box, ready to crank out one more before I turn the gun on myself. Elf. I told myself a password for this situation a long time back, then said to remember it only when needed. I think that would be sufficient. Remember, if time travel is possible then they can also observe your entire life. So never ever say the password out loud. Well, they would look like me. They would know all of my passwords and accounts. They would know where I grew up and what my address was. They would know certain formulations I'm working on right now. They would know certain things that I have never written down. They would know the names of my ex-girlfriends. Yeah, a lot of that info might be gathered online or through hacking. But to what point? What's the one brutally painful memory from 5th grade that is so burned and I'd never forget it and never talk about it to anyone? Apostrophe. Where did you hide the key of her journal? Or what song did you sing with Sarah in that one dream? Let's go to the horse track and settle this future boy! Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. What is this from? I swear I've heard it before, but I can't remember where for the like of me. Edit. I think I just remembered. Was it Back to the Future 3? By saying exactly what I'm saying. If I'm from the future I would have remembered every moment of meeting myself in the past. I sure as fudge have worse memory when I'm confused. I don't think that'd work for me. Tell me about Beat the bird. Apostrophe. I'm going to throw 6 dice. Predict the outcome of each die. If it was that important, I would have remembered what I threw. Chance they would get it right by accident is 0.002%. Bust out the D20s to maximize the effect. For starters they would have to go to the neighbor's house cause I probably won't answer the door. I'll ask him have you finished the essays due on Thursday, and if he says yes then that's not me. I look at his wrist, because when I was 8 I got 1st, 2nd, 3rd degree burns from the tips of my fingers to my elbows, and there is very noticeable scars on my wrist. They would say the catchphrase that I always wanted to use, but never said in public to anyone but myself. Hand me a winning lotto ticket for a future drawing and tell me he'll be back after I win. I hold out my hand and wait for him to place a piece of paper listing out the next few weeks' lotto numbers. If it's me, then he'll know what I'm expecting. I'd hand her a pen and paper and say, look up so I can see your neck. Now slide the neckline of your shirt a little to the right so I can see the front side of your shoulder. Apostrophe. If she had scars there, I'd say, please write down, in code, how you got those scars. Apostrophe. If she didn't, I'd say, please write down, in code, why you don't have scars there. Apostrophe. If she knew the secret code that I made up with my twin brother in 6th grade, and she knew about the scars, I'd give her a pass. tattoos, birthmarks, various experiences that few, if anyone, knows about, DNA test, retinal scan, fingerprint mannerisms. I read a couple of years ago on Reddit about a time travel password. I never wrote it down, never spoke about it out loud, and no one knows it. My memory is great in numbers like my college student number, or my mobile number, credit card numbers, etc. Except for days and anniversaries lol. So future me should be able to remember those also. Either by asking them do you still have those coughs, or ask to show a bump on the in-between of my left thumb and index finger fro when an iron fell on me. So if he is from the future, that means the future self would remember the first time my present self and future self met. I will think of a 4-digit no, like an OTP, and if he is from the future he will tell me that no, because he lived it. Won't future me already know what I'm going to say since I'm him, and he is me, so that means that he saw future me when he was present me, so that means that I already know that he's coming, and he knows what I'm going to say. Scar on my back, where I got a cyst removed, and then some of my darker tendencies. Show me the cloud-shaped birthmark on your stomach and 2 weird circular scars on your right leg. What word will you only finish just before you die? Old memory of mine, like, I chose it and started saying the word when I was 8 years old. Seems to be the type that sticks with me, and I never told anyone. Where I was on a specific night in January 2008. I have a very specific memory I've never shared with anyone. Howlett was not there. And, even then, those involved wouldn't remember me or my name. American English. That's my answer. Where? I would make them play 2 truths and a lie, but dad edition. So 1. He hung a mattress from the ceiling of a 30-foot warehouse by chains and kept his guns up there with him so nothing would get him when he slept. 2. During one of the 3 times we'd see him a year, he came in, ate a whole jar of 2-week expired lump crab meat knowing it was bad, told me it all goes to the same place, then an hour later went and laid on a purple chair and spooned with our boxer while profusely sweating and screaming for hours. 3. Drives around with no aircon and the windows down ever since we were born and has told us since we were little kids we must do that because the race wars are coming. / it's a trick question because they all are true. I would just say I'm here to assist you. Drive. In a sultry voice. Future me would know what to do. I have a pretty distinct birthmark on my right leg. Just ask them if I can see their right leg. Or like ask them their middle name, because I'm pretty sure nobody else in the world has my middle name. Telling me about the fantasy novel I written in my head, but never put on paper. If they have both hands, immediately cut one of my own off. If I'm able to do so, and their hand doesn't somehow disappear, then I have proven they are not me from the future. Multiple different theories about time travel. If alternate universe theory is true, this wouldn't work. Honestly, I'd just take their word for it and skip right to the details and questions. Ask them my login info for all my accounts. If it's some hacker, then I'm screwed. Tell me the next 2 sets of lottery numbers and which is the next big thing to invest in. That way, if they are from the future I get very rich. If they aren't I just lose 4 or 5 if you're a millions. Edit, unless they are only from a day in the future, then they can do 1. Tell me 5 things I've done that were so embarrassing I would never tell anyone. I have a few really embarrassing and bad memories. One of them, which will be the most bad one, if it's really future me, will be NO for convincing me. Show me the scar I got when I was 3. If he is from the future then he will know what I'm talking about. There are things only I know and have told nobody. If they knew these things I would consider the claim credible. Say the password. There's one. Never spoken aloud. No one knows it but me and telepaths. He just has to say it or write it down and we are good. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.